Hallo. Well learned. Dear colleagues, welcome to the closing session. Please join with me welcoming our President, Barbara Lison.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to what is inevitably a bittersweet moment in our program, our closing ceremony. I don't feel like we can even call it a climax, given how many high points there have been over the last 3 days in our program. Indeed, it's almost hard to believe that there has only been 3 days of work between our opening session and now. Everything has been very intense, that's for sure. Just some key events. A new edition of the IFLA UNESCO Public Library Manifesto, our new parliamentary guidelines, new work around our guidelines for LIS education programs, our common practices for national bibliographies. Over 160 sessions in total, from keynotes to knowledge cafes, from expert conversation to hands-on training. And not just the standard sessions of the old. We have experimented with new structures, shorter sessions, different and experimental formats, alongside some more familiar ones. Yet, just like last year, our amazing volunteers in our professional units, our advisory committees, and for the first time, our regional division committees have taken up the challenge, seized the opportunities with ambition, imagination, and, of course, immense success. I think we should hand an applause for them. And talking about volunteers, I, of course, want to thank all the volunteers who helped to make this organizational congress, or the organizational aspects of the congress, a great success. It was wonderful to have more than 200 of you here. I see the vests here. So thank you very much that you were here. Really great. So all of you who have worked for it, well done, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wanted to highlight in particular how happy I have been to see sessions organized by colleagues from all around the world. It's in our name. We are an international federation. We must continue to strive to find ways for voices all over the parts of the world, voices to be heard. I know that, of course, many friends have been unable to be here. As has been said plenty of times this week already, it is too early to say that we are in a post-COVID world. Colleagues in some parts of the world are again facing lockdowns. For many others, travel still brings too many risks. We are hoping that next year in Rotterdam, we will be in a more fortunate situation. And of course, we continue to do all we can as field to support research, optimal decision-making, and of course, to combat mis- and disinformation not only around COVID. But we also need to be a sustainable federation. And this always requires a focus on the future. We need to keep on bringing forward our emerging leaders, ensuring that in how we plan, in what we do, they have a clear say. Not just through our emerging leaders sessions, where I met really great people, but in all we can do. We must measure success in terms of the ideas they bring forward, in their readiness to challenge, to innovate, and, to be honest, and I'm glad to say this, to take the roles that we have now. It may be not comfortable changing our mindsets, accepting that there are different ways of doing things than our own, but loosening power and influence rarely is easily accepted. However, it is necessary. IFLA is our collective ability not just to generate great ideas and energy now, but to have a new wave of talent coming through so that we will generate even greater ideas and even greater energy in the future. This is key to making for a sustainable future for our federation, ready to support a sustainable future for our field, a sustainable future for our communities, may I say, a sustainable future for the world? Of course, sustainability is not just about bringing forward people with new, forward-thinking ideas, but also having them themselves and ourselves. We need to avoid being prisoners of the past. You remember Mary Robinson of the opening, but we should be prisoners of hope. Yes, we must learn lessons, but this needs to be done constructively so that we can learn continuously. We need to see challenges as opportunities to take further steps forwards, and I know that we have and we will have our challenges. I'm certainly not naive when it comes to the work that will be necessary to ensure that everyone, our members, our volunteers, our field, feels like they have the information and understanding they need to have full confidence. IFLA is a complex organization, one that is often hard to understand. Indeed, it was a goal of our governance review, completed only 1 year ago, to make our federation more comprehensible. However, as was said at the time, structures can only be part of the picture. How we fill them, how we make them work together, the processes we follow, that matters most. And here too, we need to have that some focus on our transparency. Clearly, I don't think anyone, and me least of all, has enjoyed at all the discussions that have been taking place over the last few months. We all work hard under an IFLA banner as volunteers to deliver actions that strengthen our profession, that strengthen our field. To have this banner associated with the words that have been used in discussions is sometimes, for me personally, painful. For my colleagues, painful, for staff, painful, and also for volunteers, painful. Many of these words are ones I certainly would not have chosen, and if I have done something which you don't want, then I excuse me for that. But as your president, the buck stops with me. My responsibility is to ensure that IFLA is a name that inspires, engages, enables, and connects. And a name that has a great reputation in the field and will have a great reputation in the field and in the world. And so I am committed to working to regain trust where it has been lost, to ensure transparency where it has been felt lacking, to continue responsibly the process already started with our governance review, and so to deliver a more sustainable federation. We have already taken dramatic, unprecedented steps, and as underlined in our session earlier today, I believe that we are already on the right road without denying mistakes and how much we further have to go. Our input, your questions, your participation in the process set out by our new treasurer will be essential. I hope that our shared commitment to an inclusive, transparent, effective IFLA at the heart of the global library field bring us together to where we want to be and we need to be. So, once again, thank you very much. I'll see you again later in our program. Thank you.
I invite now Jane Richards, Vice Chair of the Professional Council, to present the Professional Council Awards for 2022. Jane Richards.
Each year, a number of IFLA's professional units offer grants or awards. This year, we'd like to acknowledge the winners and the generosity of the sponsors of each award. The Academic and Research Library section offers WLIC attendance grants, which are sponsored by SAGE and Ex Libri. This year, grants went to participants from the Philippines, Bolivia, and Zimbabwe. The Management and Marketing section offers the IFLA Press Reader International Marketing Award with the assistance of Press Reader. And this year's award went to Yarra Libraries in Australia, with second place going to China and third place the USA. Our newest section, the Environment, Sustainability and Libraries section, offers the Green Libraries Award, sponsored by De Gruyter. This year, the Green Libraries Award went to the National Library Board of Singapore. A separate award for a Green Library project went to the Médiathèque de la Canopée La Fontaine in Paris, France, and I apologise to my French colleagues. Earlier this week, we saw the announcement of the Public Library of the Year Award with 3 sections: Public Libraries, Library Buildings and Equipment, and MetLib, in collaboration with the sponsor, Systematic. And the Public Library of the Year Award was Missoula Public Library in Missoula, Montana, USA. What a great award they are. And now we move to the IFLA Dynamic Unit and Impact Award for 2022. For IFLA, a dynamic unit has the greatest impact on the Federation's global work, engaging members, developing strong leadership and identity, and delivering high-quality services which have a measurable impact and communicating activities within and beyond IFLA. The Professional Council presents this award to recognise the professional units who have put the expectations of a dynamic unit into place. This year, we would like to acknowledge 2 units particularly as special mentions. The first one is one unit who we're going to mention particularly for the quality and impact of their work. and that special mention is given to library services to children and young adults. This is a highly organised and engaged standing committee, and I might say one that's in my division, so I feel particularly strongly about them. And they've worked so hard to ensure that their membership is reflective of the wider IFLA global library community. This group has been a model for others with their internal and external communication practices. And this year has seen the unit conduct a global survey on safer internet practices in libraries, publish a report on these findings, develop accessible 0 to 18 guidelines, and revamp their signature project, the now digitised World Through Picture Books. Congratulations to children and young adults. The other section that we're going to mention as a special award is in relation to outstanding communication, and the jury recognised NCLIB. As I said, it's the first year of this section, which was previously a special interest group, and they're recognised for its strong and effective global committee who have shown excellent planning, a clear and effective communication strategy, including an active social media presence and a series of widely attended virtual events. The NCLIB communicates widely to connect the public to the section's work, including translation of their checklist into 23 languages. We look forward to their continued dynamism and work in the field. So let's give them a huge shout out. And I'm sure many sections here have worked with them as a unit because they're always developing partnerships. So let's move to the 2022 Dynamic Unit and Impact Award winner. And I am delighted to announce that it is the IFLA section on education and training. For the past 2 years, the unit, working in conjunction with other sections and special interest groups from Division 4 and Division C, has developed a series of virtual events featuring library and information students from around the world. The events provide students with opportunities to network and gather experiences that will support their transition from students to information professionals. These popular events have virtually brought together thousands of participants and thousands of viewers to their SET YouTube channel. The unit has worked closely on other projects within their division, creating resources for use by LIS practitioners, having recently published the IFLA guidelines for professional library and information science education programs. The guidelines serve as a framework which stakeholders can apply in planning, developing and accessing the quality of LIS education. SET has been a leader on promoting the social role of libraries for social and digital inclusion, including the set-up of a training school to facilitate deep discussion and learning around these topics. They communicate effectively with their stakeholders with frequent and creative use of social media to connect students, practitioners and the field at large. These programs offered by the unit are dynamic and inclusive and future-focused, and I'd ask the Chair to come on stage and receive their award. If the chairs of the other two sections, the children and young adults and NCLIB, are here, if they could come up too, that would be great.
I'm the secretary because the chair is not at conference.
That's all right.
Okay. Are we supposed to?
Yeah, so let's hold it out. Look at this.
No lipstick.
Congratulations. And we have Marianne from Children and Young Adults, fast approaching. Isn't that lovely? Thank you. So, 3 very worthy winners. And can I just remind you all, as you work towards your programs over the next 12 months, constantly think about how you can incorporate those into an application for a dynamic unit of the award, of the year award. On behalf of the Professional Council and the Division Chairs, I'd like to congratulate these units for their ongoing activities. On behalf of the Professional Council, I'll now announce the Best IFLA poster for 2022, and I hope that you all spent time in the exhibition hall and looked at these posters, and I'm sure some of you would have gone, that would be the one I'd choose. So posters are a different and engaging opportunity to present new ideas, projects and initiatives, and to show and discuss them at the Congress with colleagues from all countries and library types. This year we had 174 posters presented during the Congress. The jury acknowledges the high quality of these posters, which combines substantive ideas and content with clear and appealing design. The task of the jury members has not been an easy one, and I thank them on behalf of the Professional Council for their work. And the winner is poster number 17 from Ayla Karavac and Adan Karavac with their poster about the Ghazi Huzrev Beg Library Book Museum in and while congratulating the winners, we wish to thank all colleagues for their enthusiasm, professionalism and participation. The level of competition was very high and the variety of topics covered: innovative delivery of services during COVID-19, diversity and inclusion, shifting professional practices, evolution of service and measuring feedback. In arriving at the judgment for our winning poster, the jury focused on an entry which encompasses the main selection criteria. It describes the history of the library from 1537 and the rich collection of historical manuscripts which binds the East and the West. Librarians risked their lives during the 1992 to 1996 Bosnian War to protect this treasured collection for the future. The poster narrates the history, curation, organisation and protection of documents, the professional role of librarians since the Libraries of Alexandria, and this aligns with the WLIC 2022 theme, Inspire, Enable, Engage and Connect. Congratulations. Now, are our winners here and available to come forward and collect their award? Yes. And given that they had the same surname, I asked the question, "Are you married?" And they said yes. So, so partners in life, partners in their project. Isn't that great? Now, isn't this an enticing one? IFLA WLIC Wow. So, IFLA WLIC Wow is awarded to a person who shared the most inspiring social media post on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram and demonstrated the benefits of attending WLIC to our wider audience. This year, the WLIC Wow winner is Roana Marie Flores for her Facebook post. And in her post, which you may or may not be able to read, she says, "If there's one thing I learned from WLIC 2022, that is to embrace the unexpected friendships, connections, learnings and opportunities. I wish many LIS professionals could also get the chance to experience WLIC, as this for me is one of the bucket list events not to be missed." We'll be in contact, and so we will be in contact with her about the prize, which is a free registration to WLIC 2023 in Rotterdam. So congratulations to all our winners, and thank you everybody. Keep up the great work.
Thank you very much, Jane Richards, for all these awards you contributed to our engaged volunteers in this Congress. We now would like to present the IFLA Honours and Awards, and therefore I beg Barbara Lison, our President, to the stage to give over the scrolls. Each year at the World and Information Congress, IFLA presents the Scroll of Appreciation to the Congress National Committee to acknowledge our gratitude to them for hosting our Congress. We have enjoyed a wonderful Congress here in Dublin. You share this idea with me? Yeah. Thank you very much, and I invite now Gachal Macaulay, Marianne Higgins and Philip Cohen, chairs of the IFLA Irish National Committee. President.
Thank you.
All this hugging. So, this is the Scroll of Appreciation. You take it, okay?
Thank you for coming. Come back soon.
No, good.
IFLA presents also a Scroll of Appreciation to Sanjay Kumar Bihani. In grateful recognition of his distinguished contribution to IFLA's governing board and committees and dedication to improving government libraries, the IFLA Journal, and enhancing collaboration and networking within the Asia and Ocean region. We regret that Sanjay is not able to be with us today. Please join with me in acknowledging his award.
Up.
Yeah.
There's the...
Thank you.
All the best.
Thanks.
Give a big hug to Sanjay.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
IFLA also presents a Scroll of Appreciation to Gillian Hallam. In grateful recognition of her distinguished contribution, leadership and mentoring within IFLA, particularly in a capacity building and professional development. Her achievements have maximized the potential of individual librarians as well as those involved in IFLA's committees and in library associations across Asia and Oceania. Due to family commitments, Gillian is unable to be with us, and he asked that past President Christine McKenzie accept the award on her behalf. Christine, please come to the stage. IFLA also presents a scroll of appreciation to Sueli Mara Suarez Pinto Ferreira, a long name and so long she is engaged in IFLA. In grateful recognition of her distinguished contribution to IFLA, in particular for enhancing awareness and involvement in IFLA's activities throughout the Latin America and the Caribbean region. The scroll of appreciation acknowledges her achievements on copyright and open access and in mentoring young leaders. Sueli, please come forward.
Thank you. Thank you, Helen. Like this? Go ahead. Go.
Now we come to the IFLA medal. The IFLA medal is awarded to a person or organization that has made a distinguished contribution either to IFLA or to international librarianship. The IFLA medal is awarded to Felipe Martinez Ariano. Felipe I have to say some words. Yeah, but come on to stage, please.
Don't be afraid.
Filippo Martinez has shown ongoing initiative, leadership and dedication to IFLA and the global library field for the last 25 years. His sustained voluntary service includes leadership position as a member of the governing board, professional committee, chair of IFLA Division 5, and as a committee member of the LAC section. He was one of the coordinators of the IFLA presidential meeting, Our Digital Futures, held in Mexico City in 2013, the first IFLA presidential meeting in Latin America. Filiberto has been heavily involved in improving library and information science education in the LAC region and in developing countries across the world. He has also focused this research on cataloging and RDA, holding annual seminars that have become benchmarks in the region. He has contributed substantially to a range of IFLA committees and sections involved in technical standards in many other areas, from library association to young leaders. The efforts of Filiberto Martinez are exceptional. Unfortunately, Filiberto is unable to be with us. No, Egbert Sanchez, sorry, is here on the stage to take the medal for him.
He took it already.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
But thanks to digital world, have Filiberto also with us by a video.
Dear colleagues, my short name is Felipe Martinez. I am full professor and researcher from the National Autonomous University of Mexico, working in its Institute of Research on Library Science and Information Studies, and coordinator of the National Library of Mexico. Firstly, my thanks to the IFLA Governing Board for bestowing me this significant award. Also, thanks to my Latin American colleagues for their nomination. I met IFLA in 2001 when presented a paper teaching of subject access and retrieval at Mexican LIS schools in its 67th conference in Boston, Massachusetts. Since that time, I had opportunity to work with worldwide colleagues in IFLA, providing me their knowledge, energy, and enthusiasm to achieve an inclusive worldwide organization. I mentioned some of them. Jointly with Paul Storks, Barbara Jones, Stuart Hamilton, Lola Garcia Febo, Elizabeth de Carvalho, and other colleagues, we developed training materials for workshops on Internet manifests in different countries to promote access to Internet information in libraries. We also work together in the Building a Strong Library Association program, creating training package for supporting development of worldwide library associations. The closely work with Elizabeth de Carvalho, manager of the Latin America and the Caribbean Regional Office, allow us to carry out Latin American projects aimed to increase library role for improving proper life. With Ismail Abdullahi in the LIS Education in Developing Countries group, we organize educators meetings for Africa, Asia, Oceania, and Latin America for improving LIS education in those regions. I take the confidence that Ingrid Parent gave me for organizing her presidential meeting at Mexico City in 2013, where members of the governing board at that time gave lectures on our digital future. Finally, a post-mortem text to my friend and colleague Adolfo Rodriguez, who was my mentor in IFLA. My apologies for not naming all colleagues who support me in IFLA activities, since they are numerous. Nevertheless, they are in my thoughts in this recognition. I end my participation pointing out our people are our greatest strength.
The IFLA medal is also awarded to Lorcan Dempsey. Lorcan we are waiting for you. We have time. Lorcan began his library career in public libraries here in Dublin. He was influential in the Joint Information Systems Committee in the United Kingdom and moved to the United States to join OCLC as their chief strategist, a position and role he has held for over 20 years. He is a commanding presence in international thoughts and thinking in library and information science, and in the application of that science to the development of library standards in infrastructure. He has worked extensively with the activities of the OCLC Global Council and regional councils. Lorcan has traveled often in OCLC's regions and is recognized for his inclusive leadership style. He has authored over 100 articles, books, and reports, and writes often on libraries as memory institutions. Institutions that have the responsibility to ensure that cultural heritage is representative of multiple viewpoints and perspectives. As a leader and influencer, he has been a champion for collaboration across a range of endeavors and in response to a wide variety of needs in the library community and the communities they serve for. Lorcan, would you please join us on stage? And
He's already there again.
he's already here.
Yeah, you didn't know it, huh? That's for you.
Thank you.
Be careful, it's moving. Oh, sorry, Locke, we have to do the photo. Come on, we have to do the photo. With the medal.
Thank you.
Now it's yours.
Thank you very much. I hope that was recorded for my future use. Thank you very much to the IFLA board and to those that nominated me for this honour. As is clear from the introduction, I've been extraordinarily lucky in my career. I did begin working as a lowly library assistant here in Dublin, and I have fond memories of that time. It was also a social education as I cycled around to the different branches in the city and got to have that early appreciation of social infrastructure, although we wouldn't have used that phrase at the time. I worked for a long time in the UK. I saw Kate Robinson here earlier, who was very helpful in that process at the University of Bath, but I worked for JISC, and I've worked for OCLC for a long time, and I'm very grateful to the support from OCLC colleagues and Skip Pritchard, the CEO, who is here, and Jay Jordan, the CEO, who hired me. Those organizations have given me an important lift. It's really been a pleasure to work with them and to benefit from that. I'm especially pleased to receive this award in Dublin, where I was born and grew up. In the words of a poem we studied at school, Dublin made me. For that reason, I was very moved, and thank you to the Library Association of Ireland and CAHL for receiving an award at the Irish Caucus for contributions from the Library Association of Ireland, which was very moving. So moved and surprised that I was uncharacteristically silent. But I went to library school here in University College with some people here, and my wife, Anne Lennon, whom I'm pleased is in the audience, also a librarian. Subsequently worked in the UK and the US, Western, Anglophone, characterized by similarity of tradition and values, but nevertheless very different. And also very different as an Irish person moving to England in the late 80s and then to the US just before 9/11. And as I've gotten older, I've become much more interested in questions of diaspora, identity, something my children share, and for all of us in different ways, home has become a question rather than an answer. And I say that because wherever we've been, the library, in its different manifestations, has been a resource and support for our family as we have moved, a place where one can discover oneself and discover the place where one lives and make sense of where you are. And that's not to be sentimental or romantic, but those libraries and the ways in which they are different in different places have been very important, so I've always been interested in that difference. And I wanted to conclude with a quote from a frighteningly prolific Irish author, Fintan O'Toole, who is the same age as I am. But he wrote many years ago a really strong article about Dublin public libraries and libraries in general. And this section has always remained with me. The library should not provide an argument for a particular case, but demonstrate that there's always another case to be made. The notion that the library is a place that has no agenda other than allowing people to invent their own agendas is what makes it an indispensable resource for a democracy. It's where we can learn not just to be readers, but to be the authors of our destiny. Now, I think that's a very strong quote, but of course, to actually carry out this mission, the library does have to have an agenda. It has to have an agenda, certainly, to keep the library open. It has to understand how its users discover and create themselves and make sense of their lives. And how those users make choices and how the libraries then need to make choices to support all those individual agendas, even if it may be difficult, especially in these polarized times. And it plays out differently in different cultures and different places, which brings me back to IFLA. So it seems to me an important role of IFLA is to support, maintain, and reinterpret that library agenda, and to provide the arguments and evidence to libraries in support of their agendas across political and cultural regimes around the world. So I'm especially honored to accept this reward. Thank you all. Gur míle maith agah.
I have now the pleasure to invite the World Library and Information Congress Dutch National Committee to the stage. They will organize next year, and its speaker is Theo Kemperman. Please go to the middle. A warm applause for the National Committee and the speaker, Theo Kemperman.
Well, thank you so much for having us on this stage. It is so great to celebrate together the importance of libraries worldwide, specifically in this complex time frame. To celebrate the impact we can make on society and individuals alike. Thank you, Dublin, Ireland, for showing us how to organize this beautiful, important, but also very complex Congress. On behalf of my colleagues of the Dutch NC, our institutions, our partners, and especially also our sponsors who were so generous, I welcome you to Rotterdam and hope to see you there. And for all those who have not known or do not know the Netherlands yet, or Rotterdam, we have a short but very interesting movie, a short teaser. There we are.
A city bursting with energy and creativity, young, dynamic, sparkling and diverse. Rotterdam is where everybody wants to be. Following in the footsteps of the famous Rotterdam-born philosopher, scholar and humanist Desiderius Erasmus, we encourage discussions and critical thinking to bring informed citizens closer together. At the heart of all the action immersed in the vibrant city stands the Rotterdam Public Library, one of the largest cultural institutions in the Netherlands. The Rotterdam Public Library is a treasure trove for scholars and library officers from all over the world. Its vaults contain the world's largest Erasmus collection. His books have had a profound effect on the free society we live in today. And even though Erasmus lived 500 years ago, his ideas are still extremely valuable to us today. Not only in Rotterdam and the Netherlands, but also throughout the world. Erasmus wrote about freedom, respect, and the importance of language and education. He believed that true progression requires people to discuss their ideas, give each other room to think. Ultimately, this will result in better societies. Erasmus is also present in the name and values of the Erasmus University, with its impressive university library, which was completely rebuilt to match the needs of students and scholars for years to come. Dutch libraries function as a platform for reading, education, inspiration, discussion, and ideas. Our Our country has a lively community of library professionals who work together to build better libraries. The National Library of the Netherlands, the KB, has already been a source of inspiration and innovation for centuries. Its mission is to make the National Library collection visible, usable, and sustainable for all Dutch people, and for ensuring that everyone is able to read, learn, and conduct research. Already, 33% of the Dutch population is reached by its digital services. To accomplish these aims, the National Library collaborates intensively with partners in the domains of cultural heritage, academics, and public libraries. Together, we make the Netherlands smarter, more competent, and more creative. Erasmus would have loved it. So where is this bustling city? Rotterdam is the second largest city in the Netherlands, the gateway to Europe and an international hub of trade and innovation. Bombarded in the Second World War, the place had to be rebuilt from scratch, and its people did so with pride and resilience. With a rapidly growing, diverse population made up of over 170 nationalities, Rotterdam is never short of fresh thinking and cross-border innovation. Today, Rotterdam ranks among the most popular destinations worldwide. People from all over the world flock to experience our amazingly diverse and ever-changing city. Rotterdam is honored to host the IFLA World Library and Information Congress of 2023.
Welcome. Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome in Rotterdam.
Thank you very much for this attractive invitation to go to Rotterdam. Thank you.
Hope to see you all.
Now I ask the Irish National Committee to present their wrap-up of the conference in Dublin. The speakers are Alan Carberry and Aileen Morrissey. Committee.
Good afternoon. As we approach the close of Congress, we can reflect with pride and fondness on our many learnings, our shared ideas, and of course the laughter, the chats, and even the dance. We hope that you have enjoyed our hospitality here in Dublin. Thank you. As the Irish poet William Butler Yeats said, "There are no strangers here, only friends you haven't yet met." We salute you, our friends, and thank you for making this Congress so unforgettable. Undoubtedly, the legacy of hosting the World Library and Information Congress in Dublin will endure for many years here in Ireland. For colleagues on the National Committee, working with IFLA to bring Congress to Dublin, it has been a long and winding journey and an absolute privilege. Many Irish librarians have developed a greater understanding of the role of IFLA. It has been hugely beneficial for Irish librarians to have been part of this community through the hosting of Congress. And looking to the future, we hope that together we can build on these connections and continue to participate in IFLA activities. And so, as we end our 2022 Congress, we look forward to next year's Congress in Rotterdam, and we now pass the baton to our dear friends from Rotterdam with warm wishes for a successful Congress in 2023. Ganairi an tá live galéir. The very, very best of luck. Gurv Mila Mahagwiv.
Thank you, Eileen. We don't want you to go. Arin Ushla, a chóide. 3 years ago, on a stage just like this, the Irish National Organising Committee promised you that we would host a fantastic IFLA WLIC in 2020. It took us a little bit longer than we were originally planning. But as we've done many times throughout our organising this conference together, the Irish National Committee bandied together and said, sure, it'll be grand, and we kept going. We like to keep our promises around here. But I think, right now, we can definitively say, Rinne Murray, tá sé déanta. We did it! On behalf of the Irish National Organisation Committee and the entire Irish library community, thank you for your thoroughly successful Congress. We hope you've been inspired and engaged throughout your time here in Ireland. We hope that coming together in Dublin has enabled you to connect with your colleagues across the globe, perhaps for the first time, and that you've established new connections that will last long into the years ahead. We also hope that you've had a chance to experience the best of Ireland and that you might already be planning your trip back home. We have a saying here in Ireland, Ní neart go chur le chéile. There is no strength without unity. And you also made the best of your time in Dublin. You flash mobbed your way through a multilingual reading of James Joyce's Ulysses on the lawn in front of the most iconic library in the world. It's Trinity College, if you didn't know. But you discussed issues of sustainability, leadership, diversity and inclusion. You explored ways to recruit and support our LGBTQIA library staff. You also discovered, through a poster presentation, that 71% of French librarians categorise themselves as cat people. I would just like to register a vote for Team Dog. We were all challenged. Ir Uachtarán na hÉireann, former Irish president, chair of the elders, and all-around Irish legend, Mary Robinson, challenged us to become prisoners of hope, relentless in our efforts to show how libraries are at the vanguard of tackling social injustice, racism, and the climate crisis. We ate ice cream by the seaside, and we danced the YMCA on the children's section of the DLR lexicon. We experienced Irish culture, music, song and dance. You learned that when the Irish say the phrase cúpla focal, we're not swearing at you, we're literally saying a few words. We made headline news. Radio Telefíséireann, Ireland's national broadcaster, shared news of IFLA's arrival to Dublin, raising the profile of libraries, library staff, and library associations around the world. To our conference organising partners, to the governing board of IFLA, IFLA staff, and IFLA leaders, Míle buíochas daoibh go léir. Thank you for your confidence in the Irish National Organising Committee to deliver a wonderful conference. We hope that all delegates remember their time here fondly And to help you do that, the National Committee would like to share with you some memories from our Congress together.
You are IFLA, we all are IFLA. With these words, I declare the 87th World Library and Information Congress open.
It's wonderful that this important Congress for libraries around the world and librarians is taking place here in Dublin. Of course, it was meant to take place in 2020 and was postponed by COVID. And you can sense how much people appreciate being together and the welcome.
What can I say about IFLA? Most amazing experience. Me as a newbie in this whole thing, this is my first IFLA ever. You have to experience it, it's amazing. So many countries, I think more than 150 countries.
Give a big hand for our performers this evening.
Slán Awalia, safe home.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the Irish National Committee for such a wonderful conference. It was a very short one, shorter than normally. We are nearly finished. It's a little bit a sad moment. But we are looking forward for an orange version in Rotterdam. In Dublin, just to give a look back in figures, we had 1,934 participants in person here. We had 493 remote participants. And we are supported by over 200 volunteers. All these delegates come from 96 countries all over the world. And 3 from them, they come from the Ukraine. Our thoughts are with you and your country. Thank you, everyone. And now I will invite our President for the official closing and the last words. Barbara.
This will not be my last words, but the last words for this for this Congress. So, as now comes perhaps the most formal part of this session, that is the closing of the 87th World Library and Information Congress here in Dublin. As I said at the beginning, it is quite a bittersweet moment. We have waited so long to be back together again, and then it flashes so fast. But of course, and this is a pet issue of mine, IFLA is about so much more than the conference. We don't just go to IFLA once a year, we are IFLA all the time. If nothing else, the pandemic has led us to change in the rhythm of our work, in the nature of our work. In particular, it has led us, I hope, to an understanding that you don't need to have to be in one room in order to be in one picture. Just take a look at the events calendar, the news pages on our website, full of meetings. There are so many ways to engage through projects, webinars, sharing, observing, coaching, and far beyond. And of course, we have elections coming up in the next year. And so I hope that many of you, as possible, will have to be inspired by our experiences here and online to want to stand for one of our units, for one of our committees, or to engage in other ways. So stay in touch, continue to inspire, to engage, to enable, and to connect, and be inspired, engaged, connected, and enabled. And now really, so we come to our close. I know our great hosts will say, they said it already, that it shouldn't be a goodbye yet to Ireland. I know that many of you are staying for longer to take part in the great library tours tomorrow and simply see more of the country, more of Dublin, more of the great country. And even if you need to leave tomorrow already, or even today, I have seen suitcases in the lobby, the pubs are open tonight, of course, so think of that. But as we end our conference, I want to thank once again the people who have made this all possible. Our amazing National Committee, again, in particular Catherine, Marion, and Philip. Whose, and now I know these words from the pandemic, persistence and resilience has been deciding factors in the Congress that we are having now. Dublin City Council and all of our sponsors whose support has made this Congress more accessible to more people than we could have ever imagined alone. As I said, we planned for 1,000 participants. And of course, I want to thank the staff at IFLA headquarters, in particular, and in particular, Helen Mandl and Marie-Emmanuelle Marand with her team, who have been so central to the preparation of the conference, as well as our governing board delegate, Hello Locha. I say hello Locha now. Where is he? I want to tell you, to finish up, I want to tell you a short story. Some weeks ago, I was in the Netherlands, in The Hague, in the headquarters. I came in, and there was nobody in their offices. They were all in one room, and they were packing. It was amazing. And when they left, there were huge boxes and everything there just for this conference. So it's not only planning, it's really also sometimes a physical work to go on and to start with this. Yes. I would like to thank our Congress organizer, the PCO KIT group, whose professionalism and friendliness so many of you will have experienced here firsthand. And now again, our volunteers, who have again given the conference a soul, another soul than the artists here on the stage, but a real soul. Thank you again. The session organizers from across our units, from the committees and beyond, you have outdone ourselves. And of course to you all for contributing your time, your ideas, your energies, all your resources you have. We couldn't have done without you all. We are IFLA, you are IFLA, we all are IFLA. Together, we are building a sustainable future. Thank you very much.
There I am. Hello. Goodbye.